Y'all, the October challenge is off the chain. We finished week 1. We just started week 2 today, and it is a beast, but we are getting it in, and we are really enjoying Trap and Tone. At least I'm enjoying it, y'all. I feel like I'm getting into the best shape of my damn life with LASHAE. Y'all can sign up for the challenge. You won't be eligible to get any of the prizes, but you can actually get the workouts from going to ifyoucanmove.com and signing up. Okay, tell them that Bondy Blue sent you. Y'all can use my email, bondy.brittany@gmail.com, which is always down below in the description box, along with the link for the website. And also, don't forget to try the TLCT, y'all. NutriBurst, I live by it, okay? Y'all think we be playing, all of the reality stars and everybody be trying to sell y'all the NutriBurst and the tea, and y'all think we bullshitting with y'all. Y'all can keep playing if y'all want to, but y'all see us. Okay, we're getting it together. I ain't all the way there yet, but I'm on my way. I'm better than I was 5 months ago. 6 months ago, child, I'm better than I was this whole time. Okay, so if y'all trying to get in shape, you're trying to start your workout journey, please check out LASHAE and ifyoucanmove.com. And also, if you want to purchase TLCT or any of their products, the NutriBurst, please buy it from me. Link down below. All right. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back again. Okay, now y'all, this is the second time that I've done Iyanla. I did Iyanla yesterday, and the sound had a buzzing the entire time, and I just could not put that up. I couldn't. So I'm re-recording Iyanla, and I hope you guys enjoy. Also, before I really get into it, I'm gonna say this. If you don't like that I sing in my videos, please don't waste your time commenting, and please don't be so disrespectful as to ask for other people to watch in my comments and then have people actually commenting. Listen, I tell people about other YouTubers all the time, but don't try to play me like no soybean burger bitch, okay? That's why that got blocked. So please, if you don't like what I'm doing, just press on. We ain't got to have a conversation about it. You ain't got to explain it to me. None of that, okay? Like, just move on away from me. That's all you got to do. I don't know why we got to have a conversation. Now that I've said that, let's go ahead and get into Iyanla. Yes, the Lord is not done with me. I am still sometimes annoyed by the way people come at me in comments. All right. So, Shay Bucky Johnson from Flavor of Love, from, what's the other show from Flavor of Love? What was that? Charm School? Yes, from that show. Didn't she win Charm School? We really liked her at one point. I still follow her on social media. I like Shay, but she has a terrible attitude, okay? And that boot in her mouth and her just always doing the most on every Love and Hip Hop episode that she's on, okay? It really annoys me, all right? And I wish that she would get herself together because I like her and I like to see her win. And you can just tell that she's carrying around years of issue. And now we get to find out where those issues come from, y'all. They come from Shay's mama. And it's not your average, my mama was on drugs, she wasn't there for me. Oh no, that's not what this was, okay? Shay's mama was a strong black woman, hard working, okay? Did everything she could to show her kids how to hustle and make it for themselves, being disenfranchised black folks. Okay, and she did that, but she also did not emotionally support her children. And she had a girl child who needed love, and she did not know how to give it. She didn't know how to say I love you. She didn't know how to be affectionate. So you have Shay, who has grown up starving for affection and attention, therefore, coming at people crazy and being kind of thirsty with the way she goes about things. But all in all, there's some good things there, and she is a hustler. So here we are. Iyanla has been asked to fix some lives. And y'all know how this goes. Iyanla is going to be real. She's going to be honest. She's going to give you her brand of therapy, which sometimes is hard for people to accept, because one of the main issues that people have is not taking accountability for their issues, not knowing what their issues are. Okay, once you know and understand who you are and can accept it and admit when you're wrong, that's half the battle. Some of y'all can't even admit when you're wrong in the moment, when it's just you. And Shay is one of those people. We all know that she and Iyanla are going to get into it and she's going to disrespect her because that's what Shay does. Okay? She did it to Monique and them. She just does that. That's what she does. She disrespects people when she can't handle herself in a situation. So her mother comes into the house first. Her mom has to look into a funhouse mirror that has sticky notes all over it. One of the sticky notes says to describe yourself. She describes herself as a strong black woman. Okay, now she nice looking, well put together, nice little short cut. Okay, nice little church lady suit. She was cute. I was like, okay, Shay Mama came on this show ready. Okay, y'all wasn't gonna catch her slipping. I'm just saying. Sometimes people come on these shows and you know, you can tell they don't know. You know what I'm saying? You can tell they're unaware. Okay, but Shay's mama is aware of where she is and what she's doing. Okay, Iyanla sits down with Shay's mom, and her name is Sandra. Her name is Miss Sandra, okay? And she levels with her, and this is what I like about Iyanla. She'll level with you. She says, you know, I was a terrible mother. I was a great provider, but I was a terrible mother. Because she recognizes that is exactly the same type of mother that Sandra has been to Shay and her two brothers, Joe and Marcus, aka MJ. She has been there for them financially. She has made sure they have food and clothes and shelter and hot water and everything else that they needed in life. She has made sure that she helped them get that, or just made sure they were taken care of on a day-to-day basis throughout their life. Their father was in the military, then the mom and the daddy got a divorce, and the daddy was just never around. The daddy wasn't doing anything, so of course, he's I love you through the phone, but your mom is the one that's there with you. And what I noticed about the patriarchy is somehow it ends up being the mother's fault. And I've seen things online where people want you to admit that, oh, you didn't have an absent father, you had a bitter mother. And I'm just like, no, I beg to damn differ. These two things can happen at the same time. Yes, a woman can be bitter because of the way a situation, a relationship dissolved. She's entitled to be hurt behind whatever happened between she and the father of her children. Okay, whatever. The bottom line is that ain't got nothing to do with a man being there and taking care of his child. If a woman is getting in your way, what do? We go to court. Y'all never want to go to court. Y'all feel like that's too much to do for your kids, to go to court to make sure that you can see your kids when you should and when you have to. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like I'm tired of the way, no matter what women do in a situation, they're to blame. I'm tired of that. I'm over that. And I saw that in this situation with Miss Sandra. Because even though, yes, emotionally unavailable, yes, probably self-centered in the way that she handled herself with her children, not being there for them, not putting her bullshit aside to fix what was going on with them because that's your job. Yeah, she faltered in some of those places. She did. But at the end of the day, that lady was there every day for her children, and the daddy was nowhere to be found. Yet they seemed to look at the daddy as somebody who gave them more love. How? With words. Words are important. People got to learn that. Words are important. But actions are important as well. But to me, the patriarchy makes you pay attention to the fact that your mom has been imperfect in a fucked up situation and totally ignore the fact that she is the one that has been there every day to make sure that you're okay. Your father, on the other hand, is somewhere where he is able to not have to worry about his young daughter's safety in this world. Okay? He is somebody that is not really worried about your overall safety because he is not here every day to make sure that you are okay and that there is a presence of a man that cares for this little girl. Because that's somebody that grew up with their daddy being there. That is very important. That is very important for the people that are in your unit around you, that go to school with you, that go to church with you, that are in your area, know that you got a daddy that don't play about you. That is important to me. So for me, looking at this situation, I really want to point out to everybody how all of the kids and society in general will in some way cut this man some slack and give this woman shit when she's the one that shows up and physically does the loving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to show it with your actions. You know what I'm saying? But it is also important to express that to your children, especially as a mother, because people are looking to you to be nurturing. But the thing about that is when you are a single mother and you have to do everything, you are everybody. You are mother, you are father, and sometimes it is hard to turn on nurturing when you have to be the strong one all the time? Who helps you be soft so that you can nurture? And that's why I will always believe that parenting is a 2 people plus job. Okay, you should have as many good people involved in your child's life as you can to make sure that somebody is always there to lead them in the right direction, because shit is hard for one person to handle. So hard, specifically with 3 children. So before we get into really, blaming Sandra for all of her children's issues, which at the end of the day, that's the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? But you should also take responsibility for your life at this point, Shay. Stop blaming your mom for your bad attitude. Stop blaming your mom for your inability to take responsibility for the way you show up in this world. Stop it. Now that you have recognized that the way she raised you is a part of the issue and why you react to the world the way you do, it is time for you to take responsibility for yourself as an adult and get the therapy and the psychiatry that you need so that you can stop being so damn abrasive and disrespectful to people. It is unnecessary. And I feel like I have seen a sweet side of Shay, and I love that side of Shay. But it only shows up when she wants some dick. And that's alarming to me. Okay, that's alarming to me that you is a beautiful, successful, okay, because at the end of the day, Shay does well for herself. And I think that's a testament to the mama's hustle that she taught her children, but also to your perseverance as a strong Black woman. Okay, you are that. But sometimes you have to put yourself in a situation to be soft, not only for yourself, but for the people who love you, because nobody wants to deal with hard all the time from no damn body. But it is more accepted from men. The mama doesn't seem to understand that Shay is not the only one who has an issue with her. She felt like because Shay was the one that constantly disrespected her and she didn't get that energy from her sons, that they couldn't possibly have an issue with her. And Iyanla makes her understand that Shay, being her middle child, and her daughter had different needs. So the way the other children felt on the inside, that is what Shay showed on the outside. Sandra talks about when it all changed for her with Shay. She said Shay was in middle school, and the way she said it, it seemed as if it was, more recent. So Iyanla was like, well, damn, that was a long time ago. I was like, I know, right? Middle school. This is when it's not high school, middle school. So she found Shay in her room smoking cigarettes with her friends. She reprimands Shay. Shay curses her out, runs out the house. She tells Shay, you can't come back to my house. Okay? Shay is running from pillar to post, crying, begging people to help her get back into the house. And her mama says no. So Iyanla asks, where is the lesson in kicking your middle school age child out of the house for good because she cursed you out? Where is the lesson in that? And let me explain why I say that. My son one day told me he didn't want to eat the chicken that I cooked. And I asked him, I said, did you pay for the food? He said, no. I said, did you pay for anything you have on right now? He said, no. I said, take all your clothes off. And I let him keep his underwear on because I ain't want nobody messing with him. And I put him outside my damn door and I left him out there all day. And he cried and he cried and he cried. And then I finally let him back inside. I never had another problem from him. He learned a lesson. I then rewarded him with letting his ass back in the house. Therefore, lesson. Where is the lesson in kicking her out and just pushing her away and in some way abandoning her? Where is the lesson in that? See, people got to understand. You always, you want to do the tough love thing. Okay. At the same time, you need to pour into your children just as positively as you pour into them with the strictness. Okay. And I believe that that's why 2 parents are so important, because sometimes one parent is incapable of giving. And I feel like Sandra is that parent. Nobody gave it to her to give. So she doesn't know how to be emotionally supportive for children. Shit, she not emotionally supporting her damn self. She just out here doing what she got to do to get by, like a lot of other Black folks do. They don't really stop to focus on what's going on inside of them, what's going on with their mental and emotional, so that they can be complete and 100% and available to their children. Nobody's thinking like that because they got too much other shit to worry about. Food, shelter, shit that you really shouldn't have to worry about in, 2020 society, as far as I'm concerned, living in America. I feel like, when we want to talk about futuristic is people not having to worry about the bare minimum, such as food and shelter for their children. That's just ridiculous. But you know what? Different topic for a different time. Iyanla puts down quotes that the mama Sandra said about Shay. One of the quotes was saying that Shay was a demon from hell. Sandra persisted, okay, that she did not say that. I never said that. I did not say that. Iyanla said, I have receipts. Producer, bring receipts. Producer brings receipts. We play it. Okay, a little video of the mama probably back at home on FaceTime talking about Shay answering questions about what their relationship is like, I'm sure. So yes, they edited the pieces together. But you did say she is a demon. And then you said some other shit. And then you was like, from hell. At the end of the day, you still said your daughter was a demon from hell, ma'am. Okay? So denying that is deflection. It's a way to not have to deal with what you said and how you feel about your daughter, because now you're embarrassed because everybody heard you say it. Because before you was just running your mouth and saying how you felt, not really realizing that that was going to come back and you was going to have to answer for why you would feel that way about your child. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, it was crazy how she tried to deny it. Iyanla does point out that Shay is completely out of order, but it is because Sandra is completely out of order. So Shay comes in. Shay has to look at the exact same distorted mirror, and she has to also name herself. And she says she's a strong black woman. She goes in there to sit down with Iyanla. And Iyanla says, you know, you and your mama did the same thing. Y'all both looked in that mirror with that distorted image and didn't say nothing about it. All you said was you was a strong black woman. And what that tells me is y'all will look past all the issues that y'all have and only point out the good things. And that's so funny, because as soon as Shay did that, I was like, damn, you just not going to point out none of the bad things that are just showing all over your face right now. That attitude is so present and you know, just she wears it like a crown. Like she wears this bad attitude on her like a coat in the wintertime, okay? So I just kind of feel like at some point you have to start seeing yourself as you really are. When is that gonna happen? Because your ass is getting too old to continue to lie to yourself that it's everybody and it's not you. Shay puts it on her mama. Oh, we twins. You know, I'm just like her. She talks about how her mom created differences between she and her brother. Iyanla asks, why, if her dad treated her so much better than her mother did, why did he never come to save her? Okay, put that on your mind since you want to talk about how great your pa was. Okay, blame them both. Blame him for not being there to balance it out. Like, that's the truth of the matter. Shay says she want a better bond with her mom. Iyanla wants to know, what is she willing to do, you know, in order to make that happen? And she's willing to do whatever. That's what y'all say, okay? That's what y'all say, but the truth of the matter is y'all really don't be ready. You know, talking about, I don't think I'm going to dislike you, Miss Iyanla. Yeah, okay. You must ain't watched this show before. You really don't know yourself if you don't think you was going to have an attitude, child. I knew as soon as I saw Shay on Iyanla, oh shit, here we go. I already knew, and I don't even know you personally, but I know how you get down. Girl, you need to be a little bit more self-reflective and not just about your body and your physicality. She does say she doesn't want to have to take responsibility for things that she doesn't do. And I'm just kind of like, you already coming in here telling us about how you're not going to take responsibility for your actions. You already coming in here, I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to do. Yeah, I don't have time for that. I really don't have time for that. Like, why are you here then if you're not going to admit how you're also at fault? If you're your mother's child, if you're her twin, and admitting that, you also have to admit that there are times when you are wrong in the situation. Okay, so Iyanla talks to Joe and Marcus, and they express how their mother, Sandra, really, you know, raised them. Don't be no punk, you know, all of that. So a lot of toxic masculinity going on there. They say that their dad gave them more love from a distance than they got from their mom. He would actually say, I love you. She never said it. I mean, Marcus can't even remember a time when his mom did say it. They haven't been honest with her. They haven't expressed to her that they have an issue with her because they're scared to. And Iyanla gives them the space to express to not only Sandra, but Shay as well, that they have issue with them, the women in their lives. Miss Sandra, okay, she took it. She's at a place in her life where she is ready to handle these issues that she has with her children. So when her turn was up, Mama, I got an issue with you. Mama, I got an issue with you. Okay. Okay. She walks out the room. When Iyanla brings Shay in, Shay wants to tell them about themselves. That's not what this is, Shay. That's not the time for that. There is going to be a time when you're going to be able to express yourself, Shay. This is not that time, but she couldn't take that. She felt like Iyanla was trying to make her just sit there and take some type of verbal abuse. So in return, she verbally abuses Iyanla and tells her process. Okay, and she doesn't have to deal with this, somebody that's telling her not to speak up for herself. I mean, she would not stop talking. She would not stop running her mouth. Iyanla was trying to make her understand that the process is for them to express it to you first, okay? And then you can come in and say what your side of things is. But everything can't be reaction. And she's always about reaction. Just take what it is instead of feeling like now it's your turn to bash them over the head with something. No, just receive that they have an issue with you. Just receive it. And she can't even do that. So she storms off. She gets into the van. She rolls the window up on Iyanla, curse her out, F your process, all of this disrespectful shit that a woman her age should really not be doing. It ain't that deep. Iyanla ain't say nothing that bad to you, okay? She said that you already was making a fool out of yourself. And that was the truth of the matter, honey. Shay, you've made an ass out of yourself so many times because of your attitude, not just because you kiss nasty ass Flavor Flav on national damn television, okay? Not just because of that. There are a whole bunch of other reasons. But to me, specifically in this moment, the way you turn into a sullen teenager, a child, when somebody explains to you how they feel and you don't like what that is. Like, oh my God, you have totally made a fool of yourself. And the fact that you couldn't receive that, that was disrespectful to you. You didn't like that, but that was the truth of the matter, sis. Okay? Like, she just was very tiring to me. So she leaves. The next day, Iyanla talks to the brothers alone. Marcus talks about how he felt abandoned by Joe. Joe is the oldest brother. Okay, very nice looking, very nice looking. Okay, Joe is very nice looking. Okay, we've already talked about, I think, MJ, Marcus is a nice looking man. He just does the most. He does the most because he's always in search for attention. He felt alone a lot growing up. He didn't have the daddy's attention. He didn't have the mama's attention. The brother left him to fend for himself. So a lot of how MJ shows up in the world now is a man that is in constant need of validation and attention because he didn't get it as a child. And that's why he's so extra. Joe has to support Marcus as being the oldest brother, and he apologizes for abandoning him and leaving him to fend for himself because it would have been helpful to have that extra, around you to uplift you and, take you away from the mom and the sister when things are getting a little, out of hand or a little too contentious in the household, which I'm sure there were moments considering nobody's like, emotionally supportive, But they bring in Sandra. And when Joe sat down to explain how he felt, about the lack of intimacy between him and his mother, the lack of emotional intelligence between him and his mother, and how that has affected his relationship with his wife and his own children. That was the easy part because Marcus is crying because Marcus really felt like when it came to him, she just couldn't be bothered. She never said she loved him. She wasn't affectionate. And she explains to both of her sons that it was a front. She was struggling. She was having a hard time. And all she could do was put on a brave face like a lot of parents do. Because you don't want to let your children know how hard it really is for you because then they're scared, But sometimes it's showing up anyway and they're scared anyway, So you might as well be honest with them and be truthful with them about what's actually happening. But it's a fine line because you don't want to make them responsible for your emotions. But when they feel like they can't express themselves to you because they're, so scared of what you're going to say or feel, they're always trying to protect you. You've already made them responsible for your feelings because they can't say what the truth is without feeling like they might hurt you. But it was a good moment. And she received what they both said and they received what she said, and Iyanla held her to task about validating what her sons were saying and not pushing it off on I didn't know how or nobody, told me what to do, even though that's the truth of the matter. Take responsibility for how you showed up for your children. You know what I'm saying? So that was cute. Then we move on to Joe and his wife. And they have to have this moment where Iyanla talks to them alone and she puts these bricks up between them. And at some point, the bricks fall all on the wife. Her name is Brandy. Very, mild-mannered, calm lady. Seems really laid back, kind of stoic almost. And it really took a lot to get the emotion out of her. But she expressed that it's always about Joe. She always has to be the responsible one. She always has to be the financially responsible one. And he gets to just go out there and do whatever the hell he wants to do and leave her to pick up the pieces. So the bricks falling into her lap is how she feels about how he handles the kids, And they have black boy children, and she feels like they're growing up without getting 100% of their father in their life, even though they're married and everybody's in the same household. Okay, so once that was expressed to him, he says that, she is safe with him and he will do what he has to do to make those changes so that she doesn't feel like it's all on her. And that's easily said, but I would like to see the action. However, she says she loves this man, so she gonna try to make it work with him. She gonna keep on pushing. So since Shay abandoned the process, Sandra and Marcus call her on the phone and ask her to come back. And I don't think she was really going to come back until she heard her mom say, I want to fix it with you. I want to make it better. And I want you to see that. I want you to know that I see you. I see what you're doing in your career and your platform. And I want to respect that. And I want this to actually help us do better. So Shay is going to show up, right? Before she gets there, Iyanla brings everybody together and basically has a conversation with them about how to handle Shay, because she is not going to be a part of this, because you're not going to talk to me no any kind of way. So Iyanla is going to let Joe handle the situation. So they bring Shay in and Iyanla goes into another room to watch from a distance. And it's so funny because Shay feels as if they're both responsible for what happened between the two of them. And Iyanla was back, in the back watching like, ain't that some shit? Both of us. Yeah, okay. Because you can't accept the fact that you made a fool out of yourself because you can't control your anger and your issues. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. But ultimately, when she first sits down, she notices that everybody has a plant and her plant is dead. And she like, why is my plant dead? And Joe explains that it's because it is basically a signifier of the way their mother poured into them, and she did not pour into Shay. And Marcus and Joe have to apologize to her for not being there for her and not recognizing that her anger was pain, and their shared pain at that. Because it's so easy to be dismissive of somebody when they piss you off instead of realizing that it's coming from a hurt place. And they need to have a conversation in which you tell them that you see that they hurt and you want to be there in a supportive way. But they didn't have the tools either. So they apologize for not showing up the way they should have showed up for Shay. But the real moment is when the mom turns to Shay and tells her, I am sorry. When you cried out for help, your cry annoyed me and made me mad. So instead of me doing what I needed to do to help you, I focused on my own issues. I was selfish. And the mama was selfish. And I'm glad that she admitted that. I'm glad that she said that to Shay. I felt like Shay still had this wall up where she's like, it's good to hear. And I'm always going to forgive y'all. And, it was just the energy of it that is still not fully taking responsibility for my part in it. But I like what I'm hearing, Ultimately, they have a group hug and they're in a better space than they were when they came. I don't know if her and Iyanla actually got a chance to talk. But at the end of the day, the way she responded is not a surprise to me. The way it ended made me feel like she still has so much work to do. But yeah, y'all, it was a good enough episode of Iyanla Fix My Life. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.